MonsterConTV.
What is that box?
This is Janie Slash with MonsterConTV. We are here at Texas Frightmare Weekend, and I am talking to Stephen Biro of UnEarthed Films. He directed the American guinea pig film, Bouquet of Guts and Gore, and he's produced a couple others, and I want to find out all about these movies. So what inspired you to make the continuation, the American version of the guinea pig films?
Well, I used to masturbate to Flower, Flesh, and Blood back when I was a child. So I wanted to bring the movies and somehow release them in the United States, and somehow I managed to get the rights to them. So I released them in the States, and once I got the rights to them, I figured I'd be able to maybe get the rights to remake them. And the company in Japan said no, and I had to fight for 10 years to try and get the remake rights. Finally, the president of the company was retiring. So then he gave me the rights. He allowed me to buy them. So once I could buy them, I could start remaking them. That's what I've been doing.
Awesome, awesome. So you did this continuation. Is it all inspired by the first guinea pig film, the original?
Yeah, Bouquet of Guts and Gore is actually the prequel to Flower, Flesh, and Blood. And then now it's a whole new series that's just inspired by the guinea pigs, because it was just all practical effects, outrageous gore scenes, crazy ideas, and that's what we're doing.
I have seen Bouquet of Gore and Guts, and it is intense. Is there anything, or Guts and Gore, sorry. Is there anything that you ever felt like maybe this might be going too far?
The newest film, Sacrifice, goes too far. We just screened that at a secret screening Friday here at midnight. Yes, you missed the fourth guinea pig. Everybody thought it was going to be the Song of Solomon, but instead I threw him a curveball and we showed Sacrifice, which nobody even knew existed. So it's sort of a secret, but not anymore. So Sacrifice hit, and yeah, that one's just way over the top.
What was the audience response like?
A third of it had to walk out once he started pulling himself apart. It's our take on He Never Dies, and that's where a guy just pulls himself apart and he doesn't die. Except ours, he dies.
Do you find yourself having to explain what the guinea pig films are often to people who aren't familiar with it, or do you find people are familiar with the original guinea pig films?
They're familiar with the originals. Most people just think of it as a snuff torture porn series, but that's only 2 movies in the series, and there was 6 movies total. If they watched all of them, they'd know they border comedy, insanity, mermaids, just all sorts of different things. So yeah, so everybody's thinking everything's going to be torture porn, but it's not.
Well, quite a few of them have a social commentary to them. Which one is your favorite?
The original or new?
Both.
The new? For me, I directed Bouquet of Guts and Gore, and that has a theological element in it that some people don't even notice because they're just so blown away by the effects. They don't realize that it's a commentary on Christianity, or because I'm Christian. One of the victims is going to heaven, the other one's going to hell. But you got to pay attention, and usually there's so many effects, it just goes right over their head.
I never even noticed that. That's pretty clever that you incorporated that.
See?
It's always amazing when you find out about that. So you also own, you distribute for UnEarthed Films, correct? Do you own that company, or do you work for them?
I own it.
Awesome. So tell us about some of your movies. Which ones how do you find them, and how do you get them?
Sometimes I hear about them. Sometimes I get screeners ahead of time. Sometimes filmmakers hit me up personally. So it's sort of interesting. Visceral, Between the Ropes of Madness. Visceral. This is a phenomenal movie made in Chile. It's up there with the Serbian film. Yeah, and the thing is, for some odd reason, it didn't get the buzz. But the more it's out there and the more people see it, they're like, holy crap, this thing's vicious. We specialize in the extreme. So it's like the movie Atraz.
Yes.
This is the most extreme movie to come out of Mexico. And it's vile, it's vicious. It was helped produced by Rogerio Deodato. First-time filmmaker. I mean, he's made some shorts. He's been in Mexican Barrio. I think I said that one wrong. But he's a great filmmaker quite a number of really great independent filmmakers, come across our hallowed halls. And, yeah.
So you're drawn to the extreme. Is there anything in particular that you're definitely drawn to, like a specific type of film, or do you like a lot of the foreign films or more independent?
I like the foreign. I like I like them all, just as long as they're extreme or viciously mind-numbing. Something that psychologically punches you in the gut as well as visually. So that's what I try to find. Because there's tons of films being made right now, and they have to meet a certain criteria to be an unearthed film.
Awesome. Yeah, your whole table, I walked by it earlier, and I wanted everything on it. It was really hard to pick. So definitely, I got Bloodshock, which you produced, right? That's the second American Guinea Pig film?
Yeah, and I wrote it.
And he wrote it, yes.
I wrote it. Yay! Yeah. And now that's a deep one too. I mean, it looks just like it's a normal torture porn movie, but it's not, because it crawls under the skin, and it's really my take on relationships.
You said it was a love story.
Yeah, it is a love story. You see.
I'm kind of curious to see how that works into it.
Oh yeah, I've told people it's a love story, and they've usually laughed, and then they watched it. We've had grown men cry at screenings. Big burly men too, just like, dude, I cried, and I've seen it twice already.
I do see that you have Aftermath on your table, and I do really like that movie a lot.
That's a wonderful movie, and now I could tell you that's a love story. But it's not. It's really a revenge story.
But to say, it does not remind me of a love story. I mean, I guess, yeah. Especially the ending.
Well, that's the thing. It's a revenge story. Because the woman actually ran over one of his dogs, and he was the coroner, and that's why he screwed her, took her heart, and fed it to his other dog. Yeah.
Such a good movie. So well made. Director's fantastic.
Oh, Nacho's great. Yeah.
I saw he did like one of those after dark horror film fests.
Oh yeah, he did well.
That was when I first saw it. Yeah. So, are you at Texas Frightmare weekend every year?
I'm going to be from now on.
Awesome. How have you been enjoying the weekend so far?
Oh, it's good. It's always great. There's a lot of great people here. A lot of beautiful women.
Yeah.
You're included.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, it's a great time. Great people. Great hotel. So I'm always happy.
Yeah, definitely. And you were talking about this movie Flowers earlier, which I actually bought.
Yeah. This is Phil Stevens' masterpiece. It's actually silent, but it's haunting. It's sepia-toned. It's about... I don't want to ruin it for you.
Don't ruin it for me.
I don't want to ruin it for you either.
Anybody. Just watch it.
The butler did it.
What?
Butler did it.
No. I see you have a copy of The Exorcist.
Yes.
And some other things.
Exorcist. First printing Exorcist.
If anybody wants it, he's got it.
Oh, it's a pricey. So yeah.
And then I've always been curious. This movie right here, I've seen it. I've been looking at it forever. I mean, like since I was a long time.
Rubber's Lover is amazing. It's a Japanese cyberpunk movie. It's really intense. It's outrageous. It's black and white. I mean, look at that.
You have some of the best cover art. All these movies have the most amazing cover art. They just catch your eye.
We try to. I mean, I see a lot of movie posters and stuff, and a lot of them are really generic, and they're all trying to get this Hollywood look or feel, and it's like, no. Let's go with this. This is what life's about. Because you know what you're getting.
Yes.
You see?
Yes, and it's not deceiving, because some movies you see them in the cover art, looks amazing, and then you watch the movie and you're like, oh, this is not.
This sucks, yeah, no.
But no, I've never felt that way about any unearthed film I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of these on the table.
Oh, thank you.
No, they're great.
Thank you.
I'm definitely a huge fan of your work.
Oh, awesome.
So thank you. Thank you for talking to me today.
No, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah.
Out of your busy schedule, and thank you.
Yes.
Or you.
All of yes.
The camera's working. But yeah, thank you. I really appreciate
it. And where can we find Unearthed Films?
Oh, unearthedfilms.com.
Okay,
we're on Facebook and MySpace? No, we're not on MySpace. But Facebook and every place else.
Yeah, so Unearthed Films. Get some movies. Check out The American Guinea Pig.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Janie with MonsterConTV, Texas Frightmare Weekend. Stephen Bureau, Unearthed Films.